That's right, fellas, we're remaking Rust. Hit online game by Garry himself. But don't worry, he can't complain since we're doing it in his very own engine, S&box. It may have took a whole team years to make, but I've only given myself a week to copy it. Is this psychotic? Yes. Did it go smoothly? No, I guess it didn't. I guess you could say it got worse as it went on. I mean, I was only ripping off an existing game. How hard could that be? As the wise rockman said, anybody can copy a game now. So naturally, I thought, why not try it? To call it Rust, I needed 3 things. I needed to be able to gather resources, build a base, and most importantly, we needed to beat another human to death over those resources. That sounds like something possible all in a week. Isn't that right, Garry? Garry, what am I gonna do? He said yes. I'd never made a game before, so I needed to plan it all out to make sure I built it within a week. The plan was simple. I needed to get the core mechanics working, build it, slap it in a map, test it, and call it a day. Any leftover time, I could just add new features and polish it up. I went to bed pretty pleased with this plan. Although day 2 was a day of contemplation. Making a plan's good and all, but how was I going to implement this plan? I'd officially seized the means of production and started working on it, but that's when I realised game engines don't really do everything for you. Surprisingly, I was a little bit unaware what it actually takes to make a game. I might know how to code, but what the hell does any of this mean?
What the hell is even that?
Since I was a little bit confused, I went onto the internet to go and learn, but like a siren's call, I heard it calling to me from out the corner of my eye.
No, I was gonna look up tutorials. No, don't hate me. You
Okay, I decided to use AI. I'm contributing to the never-ending pile of AI slop that this game has. But I'm sure you'll figure something out, right, Garry? You're fine with me using AI, aren't you? Porn? I'm gonna go blind! With the help of Sam Altman, my plan could finally be initiated. My prompt engineering was at an all-time high. I added a tree. I could hit a tree. It didn't look like a tree, but it gave me wood. Not that way, Garry. This wood got stored in my inventory. I could use that to make a spear. This spear could hurt somebody. The person wasn't real, it was a test, but you know, it worked. It's starting to feel like a real game at this point. A crude game, sure, but you know, it's working. Surprisingly, multiplayer is actually really easy to implement. You just slap it in and it works. There you go. How easy was that? I'm not gonna lie. This was my happiest moment in the entire project. Everything was going so well. But all good things need to come to an end at some point, and day 3 was, for lack of a better term, an interesting day. Now that I had the core mechanics nailed, I needed to make it look a little bit more like a game. But it's actually, this part's actually not as easy as I was expecting. I didn't know how to build models or tools or anything like that. I didn't really even know what I was doing. At times like this, I thought to myself, what will Garry do? What would you do, Garry?
Do you want to tell them, or do you want me to?
We ripped the entire asset library from the video game Rust. I'm sure you're very happy with that, Garry. Now you think taking an entire company's game assets and putting it in their own game would be funny, right? Well, that's where you're wrong. You wouldn't fucking steal a car, would you? You would? Oh, you fucking scary bastard. But no, as it turns out, you can't just rip an entire game's assets and plug it into a new game with everything working. My dream of plug in and play Rust was a failure. Even their map is procedurally generated, so I had to make a new one of them too. I don't know how to fucking make a map. This was day 3 and 4, making a map and remaking models. I needed to grab them, hope I had the right files, put a material on them, animate them. It wasn't that easy. It took me an entire day to figure all this out. And it looked like this. Don't laugh. To make matters worse, S&box couldn't even handle the 30 gigabytes of assets I put in it. It's known to have performance issues, but it kept crashing, and it took a minute to load every single time. I wasted so much time waiting for it to load. That's why, on day 5, I decided to just move all those assets out of the game, which was a bit of a mistake. I don't know what I did, but I completely bricked my entire project. I couldn't even open the game to figure out what the hell was going on. It made no sense. All that progress, all that time, even my fucking very will to live was taken from me at that very moment. I'm not look at it, I kind of spiraled out of control. 5 days in, I'd lost everything except for this stupid AI code. It's fucking useless.
Garry, what am I gonna do? I've got nothing left to give.
I kind of put everything back together in a new project, but it took me the entire day, and it didn't really go that well. I went to bed in that manic state. But when I woke up, fellas, you're not gonna believe this. Day 5 might have been a tragedy, but day 6 was the most glorious day of all. My assets fixed, animations fixed, mechanics fixed. Even the world started to look more like Rust. I don't know what was going on. It was as if Garry himself descended down and blessed this entire project. Even the weird little problems I had just seemingly got fixed. I don't know what happened. It was as if they like patched S&box or something. It was really weird. It was the comeback of all comeback stories. A day so powerful. When I woke up, I was in the world of Rust. That's right. This is Rust. I descended from a man to a games designer. Even Garry himself invited me to Fates Punch Studios for my work. Look at this. The smoothness, the elegance. It even feels like... Wait. Oh no. Yeah, this is what I actually made. Well, welcome to Rust 2. You can hit trees, hit rocks, even fucking knock down, like, stuff if you want. It does it all. Look, just don't ask why it's lagging a little bit, or when you run, you can't do third person or multiplayer because you got weird, it looked like that. Yeah, don't worry about that. It looks like a game. It's a game, I swear. Okay, fellas, yeah, it is all just smoke and mirrors. Turns out, a single person can't make a game that an entire team worked on for years. It just doesn't work like that, apparently. If you told me that last week, I'd have thought you're a liar. But now, yeah, you've got common sense. Fellas, if there's one thing I want you to take away from this video, it's to go and make something. What I made may be garbage, but I never made a game a week ago. Now I've made... whatever this is. Whatever the fuck that is. But you have the potential to make anything. It doesn't have to be a game. It can be a drawing or a video. It won't start off well, but eventually you'll get better and better, and maybe one day you'll make something great. As for me, I think I'm just gonna stick to playing games and making friends along the way. Mwah.